all grain in the Agolo F1? Yeah, why not? If you look at this as a fermenting and serving system, you can brew whatever you want in it. It's the beer kits that makes it into a full-on brewing system. Today is about using the Agolo F1 to brew our own recipe using master mode.
Upgrading Agolo F1 to master mode.
Wow! If you watched my first video of the Agolo F1, if you haven't, why don't you go and watch that one before you come back and continue to watch this amazing episode of the Dr. Hans Brewery Show. Let's kick it. I'm Dr. Hans, this is Dr. Hans Brewery, this is my friend Julie. This is my channel about beer and homebrewing. And if you don't want to watch the previous episode, at least we can have a look at the Agolo on my Lazy Susan. Smoking! Before we go into anything further, let's pour a beer. I brewed a Munich Dunkel. Great! So I brewed an all-grain split batch. I split that into 3 different vessels. The grain to glass video of this beer is already out, but this is not the same beer. It has a different yeast and also has another addition. I added some Carafa 3 malt to darken this up and to give it some extra flavor. I also used my fresh hops to brew this beer, so quite proud of it. The head is really going nowhere on this one. It's a lovely head, really dark beer. Could maybe even have called this a Schwarzbier, to be honest. And I can put together a recipe for you, so you can download that. I'll put that on my Buy Me a Beer page. It's free of charge, but you have the opportunity there to buy me a beer if you want to support the Dr. Hans show. The beer is so smooth. I fermented this with BF27 lager yeast. You could also use maybe W3470 or whatever lager yeast you would like to use. They also sent me spare cakes and some new kits we can check out also in the end of this video. This video, by the way, is sponsored by Agolo, and I have a code and a link down below. You can get 20% off and the master mode included if you want to check out the Agolo F1. Using this machine is a delight, and the only downside that I can see, of course, we won't be able to brew bigger batches, but then it wouldn't be a countertop system. Taking control of it with the master mode was really fun, creating a recipe. I guess I can show you. Wouldn't it be cool if the editing doctor could put like, oh, nice, starting to look like a real YouTuber. So we can see what mode this is in. Refrigerating, please drink freely. Yes, thank you. Cheers. I'm not gonna start it now because I have beer in it, but we could make a fermentation schedule. Go to recipes, you can see the ones that's made by Agolo, and you can see the hot lager one I made. Stage 1, temperature 18°C for 2 days. Stage 2, temperature 19°C for 1 day. Stage 3, temperature 20°C for 2 days. Stage 4, temperature 25°C for 3 days. Some sort of yes to the rest. Then I put a 7-day cold crash on it. This was just flawless, and I could follow this on my phone at work. I had an image, but I lost it. But maybe Edit Note could put up like a fake one. You can maybe grab one from the Agolo webpage. No one will know.
They're gonna know.
No one will know.
They're gonna know. How would they know?
So you get a graph over the fermentation, both temperature and pressure, which is really fun to see. And you can see when fermentation starts to kick in just by looking at the pressure on your phone. Nice. And you can see it here on the screen also, but it was really cool to follow it on my phone. So how do we go about and make our own fermentation schedule with this? You could of course just choose one of these already made, but we could make our own. And as I mentioned in the first video, and I did with this beer, was way more aggressive, maybe not call aggressive, but I fermented at a much higher temperature because we are fermenting under pressure. And this beer came out excellent. Let's see how we make our own fermentation schedule. Push create process. We can give this a name, test. Then we just start to set this up. Like time, how many days? Let's say brewing an ale, 2 days. Temperature, let's start this at 20 C. And you can see the temperature curve is starting already. Let's add another stage. Let's do a ramp. So I'm going to do 1 day, set this up to 21 C, do another ramp 1 day to 22, and let's finish this off by 2 days at 25 C, and we're done. So this is a 6-day fermentation schedule, and you could do whatever you want, of course. And you could, as I mentioned earlier, add a cold crash here, like 7 days for 2C, and then you also have a cold crash. But if you don't, it will get into serving mode and you would still have the cold crash. So I don't see the point really in doing it this way. You can enter a note, you can tag the recipe, enter recommended beer style, and then we just save this. And you'll find here in your recipes, maybe recipe they could change out to like schedules or something, fermentation, but yeah, it doesn't really matter. I'll go into the test there. We can edit it, we can copy it, we can download it, and we can delete it. And we can also, oh, you have the phone there already, sorry. And you can also start brewing. I just hit my Agolo F1 fermenter and it will start to ferment. It won't start now because I need to exit this mode. But what I couldn't do in the app was to set pressure. But the Agolo, I pressurized this just over 20 psi-ish, and the beer came out great with carbonation and everything. I did push some carbonation on there and I will show you how to do it, but that's how easy you're doing your own schedule. You don't have to use your phone. You can also start, that means I had to turn it off, right? Let's check out the panel, what you can do with the master mode on the Agolo. But first we need to fill up this glass again, of course. Cheers. So now this is in serving mode. You can see it's at 3C now. 3C, we have a PSI of 7. I just poured some beer. It will pressurize itself with the soda stream as I pour out some more beer. But here we have the option here to change this out from CO2 to air. If we were gonna finish this off today, we don't need to use the CO2, we can use air. After updating to the master mode, this is much cooler now, all of the icons. But yeah, let's check this out. We have fermentation, and here we can choose the ones that comes with it, and we have more if we use our phone. If you choose one of these, you can go into brewing mode directly. If you buy the kits, you will place your sticker here, and that will trigger the fermentation. If you go into craft, we have brew design, and here we can choose our temperature and duration. But we can only set up one step. But it's okay, I think. If you are at home, you can just change it out here. You can set it for 7 days 20C, no problem. We can go and change it out while fermentation is happening, or just leave it, and it will go into cooling mode after the 7 days are finished. But you can of course increase or decrease the days, also the temperature of course. Go into pressure mode, we can choose to use the CO2, and here we can actually, if we push here now, I don't know if you can hear that, but we can push some more pressure on here if you want to, and this way we could carbonate the beer even further. There's also this air pump mode, which I will not turn on right now. And if we move out here, we have the cooling mode, and here we have the gas-free mode. This is for different kind of kegs, and this is CO2 mode. There's also this air pump mode, and the CO2 mode one is of course the one you would use with the Agolo keg if you're not going to finish it in one sitting. You also have the sparkling water thing here. It kicked off instantly, gonna turn that off, but it means that you can make sparkling water that would of course carbonate whatever. And here we have history to see what we have done, and of course you have the normal like settings. You can change out PSI to bars and Celsius to Fahrenheit and yada yada yada. I would highly suggest that you do upgrade this to the master mode because it just makes it more fun. But one feature that I would like to see in the master mode is that we can take control also over the pressure, of course. So they sent me a spare keg, and you're getting a spare keg, you get all the stuff. You also get a second beer line. It means that with this beer line, and actually got two with the Agulu, you can do transfers between kegs and other fun stuff. These are the 3 new brewing kits they sent me. With these kits you don't need anything else. Soda stream bottle maybe, but nothing else. A spray bottle. They sent me the English port. I just found this text on the back here. Let me try this again. They sent me their English porter, traditional amber ale, German Helles. Was that more professional? Let me know down in the comments, or just leave a nasty comment as usual. But don't subscribe. A big shout out to Agulu for sponsoring this video, and of course a big shout out to my Patreon and channel members. We'll do a dedicated video for you after this is done. I realize that we have some more stuff we can do with the Agulu, especially now that I have more than one keg, and also how about buying a store-bought keg and try it out for real in this one. If you haven't watched the first video on the Agulu, you should do that. There's much more information about the system than in this video. And if you want to check out the grain to glass video of this beer without the carafa. Cheers. Då åkte Hans out.